Thousands of people around the world are celebrating. They say they've heard the biggest news of this Ramadan. But is it real? Or is it the most elaborate deception in modern warfare? Stay with us, because this story is deeper than it looks. Welcome to Aura News, your source for honest, in-depth reporting on the stories that matter most. Today we're diving into one of the most talked about and controversial topics circulating across social media, news channels, and online communities right now. We're going to cover a viral video of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu that has raised serious questions about whether it is real or artificially generated, the claims being made by Iranian officials and media, the counter-arguments from the Israeli side, and most importantly, what is actually confirmed, what is speculation, and what could be a calculated war strategy. This is a sensitive and developing story, so we will present all sides fairly and let you draw your own conclusions. Let's get into it. It started, as so many major stories do these days, with a video. A footage of Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu began circulating online, in which he appeared to be addressing the Israeli public. In this address, he claimed that Israel had achieved a decisive victory over Iran and that the new supreme leader of Iran had been eliminated. Strong words, powerful claims. And for a moment, the world paid attention. But almost immediately, sharp-eyed viewers began to notice something deeply unsettling about that video. It didn't look quite right. The video appeared to be pre-recorded rather than a live broadcast. That alone raised some eyebrows. But then came the detail that truly set the internet on fire. In the video, Netanyahu appeared to have 6 fingers on his left hand. Now, if you know anything about artificial intelligence image and video generation, you know that this is one of its most well-known weaknesses. AI-generated visuals frequently struggle with rendering human hands correctly. Extra fingers, fused fingers, distorted proportions. These are classic signs of AI content. And here, in a video that was supposedly official proof that one of the most powerful leaders in the world was alive and well, there were 6 fingers. The speculation exploded overnight. Now let's talk about what was being said on the other side. Iranian officials and state media made a bold and dramatic announcement, claiming that Netanyahu had been eliminated. They stated that he had been successfully targeted, and that Israel was now attempting to hide this from its own people and from the world by releasing AI-generated footage to create the illusion that he was still alive. What made people take this claim more seriously than they might otherwise was a pattern that had been building for some time. Iranian officials had been publicly announcing their military actions in advance and in real time, attacks on U.S. bases across the Middle East, strikes on Israeli targets, and in many cases, those announcements matched what was actually happening on the ground. They were, in a very deliberate and calculated way, building a reputation for transparency in their military communications. So the argument being made was this: if they have been truthful about everything else, why would they fabricate this? In response to the growing rumors, Netanyahu's official social media account released a second video. This time, it showed him sitting casually at a coffee shop, relaxed, sipping coffee, seemingly without a care in the world. The message was clear: I'm alive. I have 5 fingers. Stop spreading lies. But here is where the story takes yet another twist. Viewers who watched the coffee shop video carefully noticed something strange. The coffee in his cup, it never spilled. It never reduced. Even when he appeared to take a sip, the level in the cup remained exactly the same. These are subtle but telling signs of AI-generated or heavily manipulated video content. And when users took the video to Grok, the AI tool, and asked it to analyze the footage, the response was direct. The video was assessed as being AI-generated. So now we had 2 videos, both released as proof of life, both showing signs of artificial generation. And the question hanging over everything became louder: where is Netanyahu really? Israeli officials and mainstream Israeli media pushed back hard. They labeled all the claims as disinformation, propaganda, and psychological warfare, designed to destabilize the Israeli public and boost enemy morale. That is a fair and reasonable response in the context of wartime communications. However, and this is significant, what they have not done is provide clear, undeniable, real-time proof that Netanyahu is alive. No unscheduled live press conference. No surprise public appearance. No footage that conclusively rules out AI generation. And adding to the mystery, Netanyahu was reportedly absent from a high-profile meeting with senior Israeli officials to discuss ongoing war strategy, a meeting that, under normal circumstances, he would be expected to attend. His absence, combined with the timing of these videos, only deepened the suspicion. Now here's where we need to think critically, because there is a third possibility that many people are not considering. What if Israel itself is deliberately allowing these rumors to spread? Think about it strategically. If Israel were to intentionally release slightly flawed AI-looking videos, allow Netanyahu to miss a key meeting, and let the world believe, even briefly, that Netanyahu had died, and then, weeks later, Netanyahu walks out in front of cameras, fully alive, in the flesh, the psychological impact would be enormous. Iranian forces and their supporters who celebrated his death would be humiliated. Iranian state media, which made the announcement, would lose all credibility on the world stage. The trust that they had built through their pattern of accurate announcements would be shattered in a single moment. And inside Israel, Netanyahu would return not just as a prime minister, but as almost a mythical figure. Someone who, even his enemies believed was gone, yet walked back into the light. That kind of morale boost for a nation at war is priceless. This is not a far-fetched theory. Psychological operations, or PSYOPs, are a real and well-documented part of modern warfare. Creating confusion in the enemy's mind, breaking their morale, and rebuilding your own. These are military objectives just as real as any physical strike. So let's be honest about where things actually stand. As of right now, there is no confirmed, verified, independent evidence that Benjamin Netanyahu is dead. There is also no confirmed, verified, independent evidence, in the form of footage that has passed rigorous AI detection, that he is definitively alive. What we have are claims, counterclaims, videos with anomalies, an absence from a key meeting, and a social media war being fought with the same intensity as the physical conflict on the ground. In situations like this, it is critical that we do not let emotion, whether hope, fear, or celebration, override our commitment to verified truth. Spreading unconfirmed news, on either side, causes real harm to real people. We are living in an era where the line between reality and artificial generation is becoming increasingly difficult to see with the naked eye. What used to take armies of propagandists and weeks of production can now be created in minutes with a laptop and an internet connection. That makes the responsibility on all of us journalists, viewers, and citizens of the world even greater. We must demand evidence. We must question sources. And we must resist the very human temptation to believe something simply because we want it to be true. This story is still developing. Aura News will continue to follow it and bring you updates as verified information becomes available. If you found today's coverage valuable, if you appreciate news that gives you the full picture instead of just the headline, then please take a moment to like this video. It genuinely helps more people find this channel. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Do you think the videos are AI generated? Do you believe this is a war strategy? We want to hear your perspective. And if you haven't already, subscribe to Aura News and hit the notification bell so you never miss a story. Because in times like these, staying informed isn't just important, it's everything. This has been Aura News. Stay curious, stay critical, and we'll see you in the next one.